I know Austin Price is going to be excited about this one. This is from Action 0212. Give me the top 5 recruits you think the Vols will land.
Action's also known by the name Steve in Lexington.
I can't hear you, Austin. What was that?
I got nothing for you, Kane. Top 5. I mean, like, who I think the biggest 5 targets are. Like, I think Kamarion Franklin's right up there for me. You're deep in that one. There's some Tennessee people around Kamarion that that I think help the situation from a standpoint of, like, Orange is kind of always on the brain. It's kind of like, I'm not gonna say it's as deep as it was with Billy Seals and Darnell Wright, but at the same time, it's one where I think Tennessee's going to the Orange is always going to kind of be around. Doesn't mean you land him, but I think it puts you definitely in the door, and you're deep in that one. I think Jaden Riddell's another. Edwin Spillman, Boo Carter. And then for me, I'll go Amari Jefferson. I think to round out my 5, and I say Amari Jefferson, and here's why. Because I think everybody's going to say Ryan Wingo, Mike Matthews, and I think those guys are important. I think it's also unrealistic to think you're probably landing both. Like, I think if you did, I'd be unbelievable if you could land both. And I think you certainly try to do that. But I think in a perfect world, you land one. And that's where I think Amari Jefferson comes in, because I think he's a really good player. I think he's very gettable in Chattanooga. You're battling Georgia, Alabama, and some of it, but you've got that in-state, pool. Even though he technically, I guess, grew up an LSU fan. So I mean, ultimately, I think he's important, because I think he's one that I think you can lock down this summer and head into fall.
Let me rephrase that question real quick, and you don't have to spend a lot of time on it, but as we enter the month of May, who are the top 3 targets Tennessee might be in the best position with right now? It doesn't mean that they're going to jump in the boat anytime soon, but who are maybe 3 or 4 that Tennessee's in a great position with right now?
Well, I think Tennessee's done a good job with Max Anderson, the offensive lineman from Texas. He's going to, officially visit in the month of June. I think Tennessee continues to be in a good spot with Peyton Lewis, running back from the state of Virginia. He's going to officially visit in the month of June. And, number 3, I mean, it's hard not to go Boo Carter or Edwin Spillman. Again, those guys have been Tennessee leans for a long time, and they're taking their time. They're going through the process. They're going to take their visits more than likely, and then to make a decision after that.
Let's go to Athrun. A couple of questions here. What's the latest with Emmanuel Okoye?
I feel really good about where Tennessee's at with that. I would expect him to announce in the coming days.
How much of a roller coaster do you expect this recruiting class to be in terms of just you're in it for so many deeper guys and elite players? Well,
what you're going to see here is again, it's kind of like, everybody, panicked on, what was it, Monday. Rusty comes over from 24/7, and then the Oklahoma Rivals comes over to On3, and all of a sudden here comes all these predictions, because they just got here. So they're going to take their predictions that they had at an old place and make them the new predictions at On3, because ultimately that gets people talking, right? All of a sudden it comes up on 3, Oklahoma Insider predicts Williams Maneri to Oklahoma. No new intel there. But I think when you're recruiting against some big time schools, Georgia, Clemson, Alabama, Oklahoma, you name it, like, there's going to be a lot of roller coaster, a lot of yo-yoing. There's going to be a lot of different intel. It's like I said about, Jaden Riddell. Yeah, Georgia feels confident. Tennessee feels confident. And I think that it ultimately is right around 50-50, and depending on which side of the coin you're on, it could be 51-49 Bulldogs. It could be 51-49 Tennessee. Either way, it's super, super close. And so I do think that there's going to be a little bit of a roller coaster with some of these high-end guys. Luckily, most of them are still going to come off the board in late June, early July after official visits. There's only a few. Mike Matthews, Ryan Wingo are 2 of them. That Nate Frazier, running back at Mater Dei, is another that I see going into the fall, taking a bunch of official visits in the summer, taking more official visits with the rule change in the fall, and kind of being more of an old school recruitment. Most everybody else I still think is coming off in June or July.